Welcome to Gail's Kitchen. Today we're making Crockpot mac and cheese. This recipe is made in a 5-quart crockpot and uses 16 ounces of macaroni noodles. Cook your macaroni noodles until they're al dente, drain them, return them to the pot, and then add a couple tablespoons of oil. You're going to add your macaroni noodles into a well-greased crockpot. So let's put our noodles in. We use 2 types of cheeses, a mild cheddar cheese because it has more moisture than a sharp, and we also get creaminess from American cheese. I also recommend grating your own cheese. Buy the cheese that's already been grated and in the package. It's been covered with some cornstarch. That's going to lead to a lumpier mac and cheese. And what we're going for today is smooth and creamy. At the end, we're going to add another ½ cup of cheese. So you may want to just go ahead and grate both blocks. We're also going to use a ½ pound or 8 ounces of American cheese. You can substitute Velveeta for this. Now, I happen to be very fortunate because my local grocery store sells the cheese ends from the deli. This is a pound of American cheese for under $4. I found a package that's 1/2 pound, and I've just cut that into cubes. So let's set our cheese aside and mix together our milks. I like to go ahead and use a bowl and put all my milk and my spices together and whisk that well before I pour it into the crock pot. We're using 3½ cups of either whole milk or half and half. And we're also going to use a 12-ounce can of evaporated milk. So make sure you shake this very well before you pour it into the bowl. And to our milk, we're adding 1/2 cup of melted butter. We're adding 1 teaspoon of salt, 1/2 teaspoon of black pepper, and I'm adding 1 teaspoon of dry ground mustard. If you don't have dry mustard, you can use 2 teaspoons of Dijon mustard. And let's go ahead and whisk this together. And one thing I like to add to my macaroni cheese is some minced onion. So I'm going to add about 2 tablespoons of dried minced onion. You could add between 2 to 4 tablespoons if you like onion. Let's pour this on top of our macaroni. Add our grated cheddar cheese, 12 ounces by weight, and our cubed American cheese, or feel free to substitute Velveeta. This is 8 ounces by weight. And one other thing I like to add to my mac and cheese is pimentos. It adds a little hint of the pimento flavor, and I love it because it gives it a more colorful and festive look. So I'm adding 2 tablespoons of diced pimentos. Love to add that pimento. It just gives it a pretty color. Cover this and cook for 1 hour on low setting. After 1 hour, we're going to come back and check it and stir it, and then we're going to cook it for 1½ additional hours on low setting. Let's take a look after an hour. Starting to bubble. Give this a good stir. Most of the cheese is melting. You really want that American cheese in there because it has great melting properties. 1½ more hours and we'll be back. Perfect. See that it's nice and creamy. So this was the other half of the block that we grated that we didn't use inside of our mac and cheese while it was cooking. We're going to sprinkle this over the top of our mac and cheese. Put the lid back on and let this sit for 15 minutes until that extra cheese melts. Oh, look at that mac and cheese. Now to top your mac and cheese, you can also add that crispy, crunchy texture by using 2 tablespoons of melted butter and 2/3 cup of panko breadcrumbs. Stir your breadcrumbs in the melted butter for 3 minutes over medium heat until it's nicely toasted. That gives it just a little hint of crunchy texture. I hope you enjoy some crockpot mac and cheese over the holidays.